Welcome to day 6 of the first annual 7 Days of Sex Challenge. This is Elisa.
And this is Tony.
And today we're going to be talking to you about prayer.
It's specifically in our bedrooms.
Prayer in our bedrooms.
How are you guys doing so far?
You're almost done.
You are?
And I can only imagine. I mean, we've started hearing some of the stories coming in. The stories that we're going to hear when this is all done are going to be mind-blowing.
They are.
You guys are living this. You know what putting intimacy as a priority in your marriage is doing.
In your marriage.
In your marriage.
And the challenge we asked all of you before this even started was to pray.
Right.
Was to pray. And now we're gonna challenge you as we come into the last 2 days here about praying in your bedroom and bringing God into your bedroom. Have you thought about that?
And we're going beyond you're getting ready for bed and you're saying your nighttime prayers.
Right.
This is not that prayer. You know, there's a place for that, but we're pushing the envelope here for some of you.
As we know with our small group, this was a big one in our small group where people were very, praying and allowing God into our bedroom and to see us fully naked and making love to our spouse. It was a touchy one.
This was a touchy subject for you the first time I mentioned it, because when we were doing our 60 days of sex, those of you that have heard that podcast know that I was at a really low point in this whole 60 days of sex, and I didn't want to anymore.
Right. Some
of you may be on day 6 thinking, I don't want to anymore.
I'm done. Guys and gals, we both sexes get there.
Right. And
if you're not,
more power to you. That's awesome.
You guys are rocking. Keep on going.
But when Tony and I were doing the 60 days of sex, and I got to that point where I didn't want to, but I'd made a promise. Mm-hmm. Just like all of you said, we're doing this for the 7 days.
Right.
You made a promise to your spouse. You made a promise to the community. And you're thinking, I made this promise, but I don't want to. What do I do?
Right.
You do what I did when I was in the middle of 60 days and didn't want to. You pray. You ask God to create a desire for your spouse.
Yep.
In you. You ask him to make you want to be intimate with your spouse. If you're on the other side, if you're sensing that your spouse doesn't want to, do what Tony does for me when I'm not in the mood. He prays for me to get there.
And you have done for me as well.
Absolutely.
I have learned over the years now to really pray myself into a position and to a point where I am doing this not out of an obligation, but as a way to satisfy you and myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is a big one, and we really want to challenge you today and tomorrow to really think about letting God into your bedroom. When you shut that door behind you, or wherever you're going to make love, because in day 2 we tell you to change it up. So
it could be anywhere.
It could be anywhere. But when you get to that point where you are, don't shut God out.
Mm-hmm.
Allow him in.
Right.
Tell him, let him know that you so desire him to be there with you guys. Because Elisa and I will both sit here behind our mics and we will tell you that it is amazing when you do that. It is amazing to just have God being a part of your whole body in every aspect of your life.
Well, it's that prayer has never not worked.
Mm-hmm.
I've never said, you know what, God, I'm really not feeling it tonight. Can you help me out here? And no. It's never been a no. It's never been a wait a little bit longer. Sometimes we feel like that in our prayers where it's like, he's not giving me the immediate satisfaction. I've never had that problem.
Right.
With this particular prayer. God always shows up and says, you know what? I'm blessing this marriage. You guys are inviting me into your marriage, and I'm going to bless it. And I'm going to bless it by creating that desire for each other as a way to strengthen the bonds that the two of you have. By putting me at the center, at the top, I will bring you two closer together.
That's right.
And it's powerful. It takes a little bit to get your mind around it. But
once you start doing
once you start doing, it's hard to go back.
That's right.
Because I know whenever I'm in a situation where I'm like, really not feeling it tonight. It has become such a habit now that I go straight to prayer.
Yeah.
I go straight to God and say, you know what? I need you tonight.
That's right.
I need you tonight. So, you're on day 6. If you're struggling a little bit, now's the time to pull out the big guns.
Yep.
Go to God in prayer and say, you know what, God, and tell your spouse. Tell your spouse that you're struggling, that you're trying to get through these last 2 days, but it's a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Spouses, you are not allowed to let the other one off the hook. You've got 2 more days. You are almost done.
Yeah, you guys stick
to it.
it.
Because you guys are part of something so much bigger in terms of impacting marriages.
Right.
Stick to it. Pray for help.
Mm-hmm.
Pray for strength. Pray for perseverance.
As well as desire and passion if you need it.
Pray for desire. Pray for passion. Pray for the kids to stay in their rooms.
Mm-hmm.
But pray and let God into that part of your life and your marriage.
Yeah.
You will be blown away at what happens.
Yep. So it's day 6. We want you to comment below this, so make sure to leave your comments so we know that you have made love or had sex today.
You were intimate today.
That you were intimate today. There's so much that goes on, and that's a whole nother audio clip. So we won't talk about the 3 different forms there. So comment there. You can leave a message on our listener feedback line at
858-754-9937.
Awesome, you guys. You're doing great. We love you. Let us know how it's going.